Welcome everybody back to Shooting the Shit Uncensored. I'm your host as always, the dad bod god himself, the bald, the beard, and the fucking beautiful Piers Austin. And tonight, let me tell you, I haven't got just one guest. I ain't got just two guests. I got three guests. I got Deadly Sins in the motherfucking house tonight. And I know everyone's excited for the show. So before we get into it, I'm going to take a quick pause for that fucking cause and thank some of those amazing sponsors and help keep the lights going up in this bitch. First up is healthvape.com. Now listen, all you filthy fucking cigarette smokers, you filthy fucking vapors, you need to get on healthvape.com. They are your healthy vaping alternative. All of their products, no nicotine, no addictive or harmful chemicals. They help restore your energy while giving you that vital boost you need to get through your day. Guys, check out healthvape.com. Use that promo code MWAPOD to get a 10% discount, baby, on your final purchase. Next up is sleefs.com. That's SLEEFS, sleefs.com. They have all your athletic wear and brands covered, guys. They've got armbands, compression pants, compression shorts, compression socks, headbands, boots, mouth guards, and they've even got those dirty boxes that you're always hearing me rave about. Guys, I don't own any other boxes anymore. All I have are these dirty boxes. I'm an active guy. I work full-time. I've got 3 kids I run after full-time. I got fucking podcasts I've got coming out of my ass that I'm doing nonstop. And sleeves.com with their dirty boxes have me covered. Their boxes are so fresh, so dry. They're so comfortable. And when the belt buckle comes undone at the end of the day, Mrs. Austin is laughing at what's on front of the boxes and not what's inside them. Hey, a bit of a dick joke there. But anyway, I digress. Guys, check out sleeves.com. Use that promo code MWAPOD to get a 10% discount, baby, on that final purchase. Now, guys, while you're tuning into the MWA Podcast Network, make sure you hit subscribe, like, share, comment, all that fucking good shit. As well as if you're listening to us on a podcast platform, please give us a 5-star review. I'd appreciate it. You can catch shows like this, Shooting the Shit Uncensored, the NXT Roundup, Killing the Business, hosted by former ECW original, the Kingpin, Angel Medina, and King Mega. You've got Knights of the Gimmick Table, hosted by the Dead Presidents, Boogaloo and Lowrider, and Cade Lothbrock. Guys, we are your one-stop fucking shop for all your wrestling media, podcasts, and all that stuff. So hit that subscribe button, like, share, and get on it. But guys, without further ado, let's get on with my conversation with AJ Grimm, Alan, and the Ox King, the Deadly fucking Sins, baby.
Hey!
Hey!
Hello.
Wow. That was an intro, eh?
Yeah, I really like that intro. That was fucking sick.
The Deadly fucking Sins. That felt sick, man. I want to hear
That's what we like to hear. Yeah.
That's it, boys. Shout out to Addy for tuning in. Kyle Ead in the house as well.
Kyle.
Kyle.
Wrestling
Do you know, in the intro of this show, there's a message of Kyle Ead saying Deadly Sins is my favorite faction in EWA. I've seen it.
Yeah, I brought that up as he commented it.
He's a smart man.
Oh, that happened during.
Culture.
I thought that was in the intro.
It will be now.
It should be. It should be.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so. But
Kyle
guys,
should get his own part in the show.
he probably should, man. He tunes in every single episode, most episodes. So, but guys, Man, it's great to have you on, man. Like we've had some pretty good conversations at the couple of shows that we have worked together, man. And I've really wanted to get you guys on for a chat. So I'm glad you guys made the time, man. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for being on.
Of course. Thanks for having
Thanks
us.
for having us. Yeah, it's good to
it's a
be here.
No, man, we're happy to be here. It's cool.
Yeah, no, absolutely. But guys, EWA, a new promotion that's really sort of, started out of nowhere and really had such a strong following. Both shows over 500 people plus turning up. You guys coming in and really, on a stacked roster, coming in and really, cementing yourself in that main event spot for the second show, guys. And I have to say, I'll be honest, I hadn't heard of the Deadly Sins prior to the first show. And when I seen you guys do your promo, and and I started seeing more and more stuff unfold with the vignettes and the attacks and stuff, the more I really started to dig the gimmick. I'm like, these guys are really cool. It's it's not just three dudes that have been randomly put together. Like there's something here with this faction.
I love that you said that, because that's it. Hey,
That's the biggest thing, man. That was the biggest thing with us. We're not just three blokes coming together to be a team. We are three brothers.
And no one said, "Oh yeah, you three." That makes sense. No one said that.
No one said that.
No.
Yeah.
We sort of just came together naturally. You know what I mean?
100%.
Yeah, because like before the show, when you were like, "Yeah, hey, like introduce yourselves," I'm like seeing you guys. I'm like, you're all so very different and unique. It's like usually in a faction, everyone's got a very similar style. You know what I mean? Like the gimmicks are very on par with each other, but you guys are all three complete different individuals, which is what I like about your faction the most. But guys, like, were you like, obviously you guys have this strong connection. Were you guys like boys before you got into wrestling? Like, did you guys go to the same school? Like, grow up? Like, what's the story?
Me and Grimm knew each other before wrestling.
And, we went to uni together. We were studying video game development for a few years prior, and Ox knew somebody that ran a school, and we went and tried out, and sort of the rest is kind of history. We met Alan along the way at the same school, and I
met these boys. Yeah, the pretty much the night that I tried out, like the first time I ever stood in a ring, I met these boys, and I didn't really and it didn't happen straight away either. Like we weren't besties straight away, but like as time's gone on, we've just gotten closer and closer, and now we're not into hey Paige, I love it. Now it's like, I don't know, we just ride together everywhere. It's such a cliche thing to say, that ride together.
Yeah.
But we really do.
It just came together organically. Yeah, 100%. I feel like that's what makes it special.
So, like, you guys trained at Suplex, correct?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
For sure.
So Suplex is a promotion I know a little bit about, but don't know a great deal about. And I know Spade is the owner and trainer there, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. How was he as a trainer? How did you find him? Like you guys coming in, training under Spade?
Well, it was he's very, very hands-on. So he sort of goes through all the motions, teaches you, firstly how to take a bump, as you should from any promotion, leading to chaining and et cetera, et cetera. He explains things pretty well, and he sort of not throws you in the deep end, but sort of learn by doing is a lot of the.
Yeah, I feel like Spade always said to us that when he'd been to a lot of places where you had to roll around on mats and learn how to bump on far harder surfaces before you could get into a ring, and it's not like that at Suplex. It was never like, there are guys, when they come try out, they get to, when they go through the motions, they do it with us as a part of exactly as when we are at training together. It's not a simulation of something different. They just join in for the day and they see what it's like to actually have a go, because it's not. I feel like wrestling training is nothing like what people perceive it to be before they do it.
100%.
But it's interesting because I had Carter Deems on, and he was like, and he coaches people at Newey Pro, and he was like, I get in the ring. It's like, okay, we're going to practice forward rolls. He goes, I can't tell you why it's important, but they have to be perfect. I've never done a fucking forward roll in a match.
Yeah.
Before we do on the next thing. So
front rolls are important. I can tell you why front rolls are important. Yeah, body control. Absolutely. When I first started, I couldn't do a front roll. It took me like 6-8 months to like fully nail that. And now, like, I don't know, for an unco man like myself, naturally, it's necessary to develop.
I think it's very necessary. 100%. You need that coordination. Even if you're not doing front rolls across the ring in a match, you still need to be able to, drop and land and move.
You've got to be able to have all the basics down.
Just stand up still's hard enough sometimes, to be honest.
But how long after training did you guys start being put on shows? Like, were you all put on shows around the same time, or was like anyone advanced more than the other? Where was it you guys at with it?
We actually discussed this not too long ago. I think for me it was 2.5 months of training, and then Ox was the show directly after me.
Yeah.
I think Alan, you were 3 months after that.
Yeah, something like that. When I got there, you had been there for about a month or so. Like, you started at Suplex probably a month or a half or something before me. And then I think it was you had your first singles match, Grimm, you said in October 2020, and I started in January of 2021. So something like that on shows. So it was for me, it was 10 months.
Yeah, right. And like, do you think like others progress quicker? Like, do you guys like 2 months? Like, seems pretty quick to be then put on shows.
It is quick, man. It is quick for sure.
Yeah, it was. It was very quick.
Everyone's different as well.
Yeah,
for sure. I think a lot of the time, people kind of progress and grow differently with in different skill sets. I think people learn in different ways as well, and some people really thrive getting that one-on-one singles competition. Some people really thrive being put in a team together, and they can learn together. You know what I mean? It's everyone's a little different, and it was quick, but as the boys said, it's learning on your feet as well. You know what I mean? And
yeah, and for some people, it's easy to use like smoke and mirrors than what it is for others.
Sure. Yeah. And I think as well, like, people get things and pick things up differently at different speeds. As you said, it's like, I think the time, it doesn't really make. Well, I don't think the time matters on how long it takes you to get there. As long as you're putting the effort in to get there, you will eventually get there.
Yes, that's so true. Yeah, I've never seen people who don't. I've seen people who spend like longer than me there and have only just got on a show now, but their conceded effort's always been there. And I've also seen people who started before me but have been long gone since then, and the conceded effort was never there. Like, it's not about how great you are or how naturally gifted you are. It's about how, and I feel like that I'm a testament to that. I don't know about these boys. Grimm, definitely not. He's a prototype human being. But
I'll take it.
You are the symbol of superiority, and he's the prototype of purity. And I'm Alan. Yeah.
So when was it decided that you guys would form a stable, like, and form a team? Like, who came up with that idea?
Oh, this is great.
Me and Grimm are in a tag team in Suplex, the Gods of Destruction. And we've been a team for a long time now. And since we got, to know Alan, I kind of, we really felt his inner sinner, and we realized we could help bring that out of him. And I also thought that, Alan would add a lot to our team. Me and Grimm, we have our own strengths, and Alan's got, his own strength as well. And bringing him into the fold, it just made sense. You know what I mean?
And the name Deadly Sins, how did that come about? Because because when you guys sat down and you were telling me about the gimmick and it, like, there's 7 deadly sins and shit, like, I really got into it. I was like, that's fucking dope. But so who came up with that? Like,
these fellas had before I came in and we became the Deadly Sins as a faction, these fellas had deadly sins. He was the god of wrath and he was the god of greed. But for like the gods they're not using that name. So we had to come up with a deadly sin. So we just ran with that. And I feel like this is a big thing with me. At the start, Piers, when you said there's something about us that is like unique in how we come together, it's the sins. It's literally like the deadly sins, you say it's not a gimmick. That's true as well. Like to all of us,
100%.
like Ox is,
Absolutely.
and even in just like, I want to say like the shootest of shoot ways, but also just the way he naturally automatically works is like so wrathful. You know what I mean? And me as a human being and the way I cut promos, I just instinctively like attach myself to pride and like how they've insulted my integrity or something like that. And Grimm just, what do you want, Grimm?
Everything.
The gold, the glory.
Of course.
The flashy cars, he's good. Yeah.
That's the shoot,
Flashy
brother.
cars, lots of
That's
money,
a shoot.
plenty of women, all that jazz.
You should see his house.
One of the things I really enjoyed about you guys of your performance is how you got over and how you got heat on that EWA show. And I think that like for 3 guys where, on a roster, on a card, which is stacked full of like, veterans and just top tier talent, yourselves included, to be the main event in the second show, I think you guys were highlighted really, really well. I think you guys got heat really well. I think the video vignette of you, beating the snot out of Mick Farouk and
that felt good.
Yeah, deservingly so.
That was like, I think as well, and in front of his daughter as well, it just added to the level of heat.
In
and
front
I
of
think
Sam's story,
I think it told a great story, and I think you guys played the role very, very well.
Thank you, man. It was an opportunity that we would never have been afforded, like pre-EWA, you know what I mean, on that scale. Like, I feel like the biggest number we'd wrestled in front of, like, being honest, probably 150 before EWA, and then it just shoots to 500 people.
Yeah.
Getting chased
and the fact that we came through the crowd on that first show as well.
Yeah.
Already gave us heat. And then we beat up Mick, and then we did the whole shebang with the 2-on-1 handicap with Mick coming out as well.
He cheated when he came out. I don't know why the ref didn't like.
The ref didn't disqualify.
Nope. I was injured, and he hit me.
Something we need to tie up there.
Yeah.
100%.
No, he hit me. I was injured. That's the only reason.
I think going and bashing him and Mick in front of, Osama's daughter was fair.
Yeah, it was deserved.
Hey, and Sandy literally slapped me in the face after all that happened. She was in the crowd. She got a hit in. All right. But it's even now. Okay.
It's even.
Breaking and entering, assault, same level.
Of course.
But like, one thing like Suplex is known for is like a lot of the hardcore deathmatch style of wrestling. You guys did bring a little bit of element into that main event match. Are you guys like interested and into that style of wrestling yourselves? Like, do you guys see yourself as deathmatch wrestlers or potentially be deathmatch wrestlers in the future?
Me personally,
you go.
Sorry to cut you off. Me personally, not really. I'm not really a fan. I'm not really a fan. I'm not really interested in doing it myself. Sure. The most I'll do is, tables or maybe a hardcore, but not really a fan of deathmatch wrestling. Well, I got a beautiful face. I got to protect it. Yeah, no, not a fan of thumbtacks or anything like that. I'll go through tables. I'll go off ladders, but anything more than that, not really interested in.
I feel like, I don't know, I'm not going to skip Ox, but I feel like when he says you're not a fan, I feel like watching it live is a different appreciation for it. I've hosted a deathmatch show, an explicit show from Suplex. I don't work them, but I've hosted them. And, I've been there live when a pane of glass has exploded like a tsunami over me. It's a totally different thing than what you're on a camera. So I definitely developed a different appreciation for it since then. And through Spade, Spade is
cultured.
He is, and he's been through a lot of pain of glass.
Good little zinger there for you.
Yeah. So, but no, for me personally, no.
What about yourself, Ox?
I haven't done one aside from the match we did with Osama and Mick, but and it was something that I've never been super interested in. But lately, I've been thinking about it a bit more. If only just to be able to kind of let out everything I want to let out in front of a crowd. You know what I mean? Some things you can't do in a family-friendly environment. and I think it could be really fun to smash some poor cunt's head through a fucking TV or some shit. Like it could be fun.
Did
But-
you actually? It's funny. Did you see like over in the UK they had a English promoter promoted a family friendly show, sold family tickets to this said show, and then in the main event the guys brought out fucking light tubes, weed whackers,
Yes.
and like they had cops come down and
The
shut.
cops come. Yeah, I shared that on
I remember
Facebook.
hearing about the weed whacker spot. Yeah.
Yeah, whippersnipper's a bit much for me.
Yeah.
Light tubes are one thing, I can do some light tubes, but if you let a whippersnipper,
But it's no
pull a
your
knife
crowd,
out of that
though, right? It's no your crowd though. Like if you go out there and go, okay, we got all these fucking gimmicks planned. Oh shit, there's Billy and fucking Susie sitting in the front row eating popcorn.
Literally, that's something
Yeah.
else I was going to say about the deathmatch thing is I have been in more pain from weapons and gimmicks after that EWA main event than any other match in my life for sure. But it was in front of the biggest crowd that has yelled at me the loudest in my career. So a little bit more worth it, a little bit more like, I don't know, just I'm not saying that suplex ain't worth it by any means, and suplex crowds are awesome. I'm not saying that, but it's just as far as the damage and actual mutilation of my body is concerned, you need some compensation for that.
Hey man, 100%.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
not like wrestling a
500
normal
people.
match, that's for sure.
Yeah. Well, when you have 500 people screaming at you, throwing water and trying to threaten you with chairs and stuff when you
Trying
walk
to jump
out.
the barricade and fight you, yeah.
Yeah.
man.
Having kids
Someone
throw chairs at
stole-
you.
Someone stole my barbed wire bat, man.
Yeah.
Dude, I put that over on commentary.
Oh,
I love that.
yes.
I love that.
Really?
Man, I haven't heard the commentary yet. When? Yeah.
Yeah,
anyway.
I don't
when's
even
that?
see that.
I don't know. So
I'm super excited to hear your commentary and to hear you analyze with such beautiful color, in which the way we decimate them in that main event
Oh.
until I tripped over Mick's foot and fell to that table.
100%. That's 100% what happened.
Of course.
We
But,
had
you
a
know,
plan.
sorry, go on.
No, I was just saying we had a plan and it didn't,
The plan.
sometimes it didn't work
The
out.
plan went ahead. It went a little bit sideways about halfway through.
Yeah.
But, like
Man.
after that match was pretty intense. Like what was the feeling coming out of that? As you said, that was the biggest crowd you guys have been in front of it at this stage of your career. What was the overall feeling? Were you happy with the match?
Man, happy with it after the fact, happy with the raw, intense emotion we were getting out of those people, That was something I'll never forget is, having young blokes trying to jump the barricade and throw hands
Trying to
with
fight
us.
us.
That's something special that really feels like, that's something I've always wanted out of been, getting heat.
Yeah,
So,
and I
Getting
feel like
nuclear heat. Yeah.
yeah, and I feel like I was, over the itty gritty details as I always am, exponentially hard on myself, and the boys were as well. But I remember actually, and I still was at the end of the show, especially just in the finish, I wasn't really happy with that, and then I remember being so bummed. And Achilles, the giant, he is our good friend, Achilles.
Yeah.
Just
He's
putting
great.
over Achilles.
He's
the
a great
giant.
man.
And
He's a beautiful human.
Big Bad Bomar is. I like listening to him talk.
But,
Anyway, Achilles, he come up to us in the car park, showed us a video of some young fella that he knew, saying that main event was like the best match he'd ever seen
in his whole
And-
life, yeah.
Yeah, and he'd only watched WWE before this EWA show,
Really?
and that was
It
like
was special.
and that felt different. That
It
just
felt
felt,
amazing.
Yeah, I actually brought my eldest son to the show, and that was his first wrestling show.
Oh, really?
Wow.
Yeah, man. And straight
be able
away,
to say.
he's a mark for life, bro. Like he walked out of there going like, "This is the coolest shit ever." And he's
Oh,
like,
wow.
and he goes, "This is what you do on your weekends, Dad." Like, let's go,
yes.
let's go.
He's
I love
in.
that. I love that.
Yeah.
He's hooked.
Uh,
He's
I
got
can't
hooked.
wait. I can't wait until the day my boy can be like, "Oh, this is Dad's weekends." He's a bit young to know what I do yet.
Man,
That must be awesome, though, Piers. I would love that.
It was, man. It was. I wanted him to come, and I thought he might get a bit scared. But the fact that he sat there and the beginning to the end of the show, he was just like, over the moon. I thought the like I said, your match with the boys might have been a bit too much for him, but he was like, "Did you see him? He made him bleed." Like he was just like, man, like, yeah, my son puts over the heels, bro. Don't get it.
That's good. He's smart.
Good man.
Another man of culture.
Yeah, as far as you guys, you said you've been wrestling at Suplex, trained there. You've now come over to EWA. Where else have you guys been wrestling, and where else do you guys want to be able to go and work? Is there promotions that you're like, okay, this is where we need to go next?
Well, we've all of us have wrestled at we wrestled at EWA and Suplex. We've wrestled at Wrestle Strong, based out of Penrith, and we've wrestled.
I haven't wrestled at Wrestle Strong.
You announced Wrestle Strong.
Yeah.
And we did,
AWS.
Yeah, Australian Wrestling Superstars. We've all done that. We like that one.
Yeah.
Australian Wrestling Superstars is our third friend.
Yes.
And as far as places we want to go, are you talking like long term, like end game stuff? You talking right in front of us stuff?
We can talk everything, man. We can talk right now, and then we can lead into like long term shit.
Yeah,
man. I saw Carlito was on a card somewhere, dude. I wouldn't mind getting in a match against Carlito.
All-Star Wrestling.
Yes. I think I can break the master lock.
Mikey Lord's a tag champ there. Let's talk to Mikey Lord and say, can you hook us up with Carlito, bro?
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Surely Mikey Lord's got the Carlito connections.
Yeah, maybe FWA.
FWA. We've literally spoke to Kyle about FWA. Hey, he came up to us after one of the shows and said he wants to talk to FWA about us. I remember seeing a promo when Muzdog was going to go to FWA, and this is when we all first started. And I was like, "Oh, this is cool. Muzdog's going somewhere else." And I hadn't seen Muzdog go anywhere else before, and he never ended up going there. Something happened. I don't know, but classic Muzdog. But yeah, we'll say it was COVID. Yeah. And I love the Muzdog, just saying. And FWA, they, from what I know, I haven't seen a lot of their recent stuff, but they've had like a lot of mad guys on there, including like Ricky South. I've seen him on a lot of cards there, and he's awesome. Before I wrestled, I used to go to the Coliseum shows, and Ricky South is tough stuff, man.
Man, he's great athlete, man. Great dude too.
Yeah,
I'm sure. Yeah.
I was just going to say, going interstate, going, wrestling all over the place, I think is a big goal.
I like to wrestle Venom Pro in Queensland.
Yeah, DMDU. I'd go, DMDU would be cool.
DMDU.
For sure.
Yeah, with Joel, absolutely. Yeah.
Melbourne's a big wrestling scene, so, just going around would be cool.
You mentioned Venom Pro, AJ, and that's interesting, man, because like Queensland is kind of like the redheaded stepchild of Australian wrestling. I feel like they don't really get a lot of love. Like,
man, they don't get enough tours up there. Eh?
Isn't Tony Storm? She's from the Gold Coast, right? That's
from New Zealand, bro.
She's from New Zealand.
Tony Storm. Isn't she announced? She's announced on Dynamite from the Gold Coast.
Really? I thought she was from New Zealand.
Someone fact check that. Someone fact check it in the comments. Fact
I
check.
reckon Piers.
Watch the tape. Watch AEW back. I think I'm right.
I don't watch that shit. He says. Venom was talking to Craven. I've talked to Craven a couple times about it, and he's wrestled up there before, and it just seems like a cool place to wrestle.
Australian man. And the crowd's pretty smart, from my understanding. I remember Spade worked up there. We know she's on AW, Carl. Where was she?
Where's she from?
What was I saying? Keep going, Grim.
We're talking about how Craven was on. Was talking to me.
Oh yeah, and I remember Spade showing me something where he showed. He was, because it's up in Queensland. It was Origin weekend or something. He was working heel, and he came up with like a cape. I think it was a Maroons cape or something, or just a black cape. And then he flicked it around. It was like the Blues Victoria Bitter, and the heat just went. Like the crowd's like, I don't know. They just like getting into the cool stuff that the boys want to do.
There you go, Nicole Reeves. Oh my God, she's a Kiwi. Lived on the Gold Coast.
There you go.
We're both right.
You're both right.
We're both right.
We're both right.
Both right.
But as far as no, that's all right. Well, you can have it. She can be from the Gold Coast.
No, we can. It's okay.
No, you.
Hey, I'm a gracious host, bro. Come on.
That's all right. I'm a gracious
you know-
guest too.
There you go, man. But as far as like, for you guys now, is the main goal to focus on the group, or you guys looking to go out and do singles runs elsewhere?
Well, me personally, I prefer tag wrestling. Me and Ox, when even before we started wrestling properly, we always talked about wrestling types, and I've always been a fan of tag wrestling, and I feel like tag wrestling is a bit underappreciated in a lot of promotions. I think that it's often considered a mid card title, and I think that it should be on equal footing with the main title because it's two guys in tandem going to war against two other guys in tandem at the top of their respective division, and so I've just always been a massive fan of tag wrestling, and I feel like you can get a lot more out of tag wrestling than you can in singles because you can do tandem stuff. You can go a bit more in depth with a few things, and yeah. So I prefer tag wrestling. Don't know about boys, but I prefer.
I feel like
particular
my
tag
answer
stuff.
depends on. I want to work as many feds as possible. Like I heard some, I don't know, some guy said some guy told him that Sami Zayn told him to work as many shows as possible, the big shows, the little shows, every show. So I want to do that, and whatever that show really, if that show wants the Deadly Sins, then I want to do that. If that show wants Alan, then I will do that. But I just want to be on as many feds as possible, I'd say.
Agreed, 100%.
Yeah, I'm about the same. I think tag wrestling. Before I started, I was definitely a bit more of a singles guy. But as me and Grimm kind of got more comfortable, tagging and just hanging out and discussing wrestling, I found a real deep love for tag wrestling and felt that's how I grew. I kind of struggled in my singles run initially, anyway, just to getting that confidence and getting out there in front of the people. And the tagging really kind of helped me because you were learning with someone out there, and the fact that me and Grimm knew each other already was a big deal as well. So, but I'm similar to Alan in the sense that I want to go wrestle everywhere, and I want not only the Deadly Sins, I want to get the Deadly Sins over and the Gods of Destruction, just us three really as a faction over, But I also really just want to get Ox King over as well. I want both. So I want to go out and wrestle across all of Australia and make Australia my bitch, and hopefully we can do that together. That's the goal. But
yeah. I couldn't imagine going in the state without these boys, to be honest.
Yeah, 100%.
Me too. Yeah, I agree.
It's interesting because like tag wrestling to me, I always find like the more people you have in a ring, the more chance of a clusterfuck it can turn into, right? So I always have the thought that tag wrestling, to be a successful tag team, you have to be two or three really good singles performers to make a tag team work. Because like bad wrestling's bad wrestling, whether it's bad comedy, bad intergender, bad tag, whatever it is, bad wrestling is just fucking shit.
Bad wrestling.
But like when it's good tag team wrestling is when you've got four workers in the ring that can all work individually fantastically,
100%.
and then pushing it all together, coming, what I mean, like putting everything together to make it all work.
Yeah. That kind of adds into what our whole trio thing is, that we're united under a same kind of vision, but we're completely individuals and we wrestle very different styles. We cut very different promos. We just naturally are three completely different people, and that's what kind of makes us work, I think, as a unit and as just friends, and
Yeah, I feel like I've still really struggled because I haven't been doing the whole tandem thing as long as these guys. Like I remember seeing a picture after the last show where they're both like doing this pose on the apron, and I'm just like yelling at someone over the phone. Like,
but those are so big moments, right? Like,
yeah, exactly. Like, but at the same time, there's something that I remember actually being told by Robbie Eagles in a seminar ages ago on tag team wrestling is that when you present tag team wrestling, that's what people want to see. They want to see the 2-on-1 and the 1-on-2. They want to see that, and a unique pose as part of that, a combination pose as part of that, I suppose too. So that's something that I'm getting used to. But you're exactly right in terms of the fact that if there's just even one piece of a 4 or 6 person puzzle that's not as proficient in singles wrestling as not proficient in singles wrestling at all, rather, it's clogs it up.
No, definitely agreed. And as far as like the team, do you guys sort of operate on a free bird rule, or is it like, I mean, is that how you guys have planned?
Yeah, for
Yep.
sure. Yeah,
Absolutely.
we're a trio and we're all a team. That's it. If one wins, we all win. Two win, we all win. So
That's
And that's
it.
the thing, like the trio aspect of it, and using that free bird rule. Like in Australian wrestling, there's no one else doing that. So I really enjoy the fact that you guys embrace that in. And it's like I think tag team wrestling in Australia. I think in Australia we do it better than anywhere else in the world, like hands down. And I agree with what you were saying. Is like some places look at tag team wrestling as like the mid card level, but like I think over years that's how like I think WWE level has probably viewed tag team wrestling. It's like they'll be hot on it for a while, going, okay, great, here we go. But my eyes, I think WWE looks at the tag team wrestling as like, okay, how do we elevate someone to be the world champion, the next, you know what I mean, big single
Or how
star.
do we tell a storyline with this person? More so, even. Yeah.
Which is unfortunate because like there's so much talented tag teams out there and teams coming up in the business as well. Do you feel there's a shift in like how tag team wrestling is viewed, and do you see tag team wrestling now on a mainstream level it going up into a main event level?
I definitely do nowadays. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's getting up there.
You got to look at like if the only definition of a mainstream level is WWE, then no, I have no. But like you look at AEW, I can't stop watching FTR. They're the best thing going. They should be main event in every show they're on against whoever they're against. I've said to these boys multiple times, them two should have been Hall of Fames before they hit the main roster. And I don't know if that's. It's pure. And it's. I'm not, and you've seen now in AEW only in the last few months that they can go in singles action too. And I was
100%.
Because as Piers said, you need that. And especially Dax Harwood, he's just incredible to watch him moves around the ring and his ring positioning. I'm constantly like studying Dax Harwood. My brain's going 2,000 miles an hour when I watch FTR. And I feel like they're putting it on the map. Oh, and you could say a lot of the AEW division, but what they're doing in AEW and the guys around them, it's a big deal to me, at least. I think
it is definitely FTR best.
FTR versus Gods. Oh my god!
Hell yeah,
that'd be amazing.
Yeah, let's go. Yeah, I definitely think it's getting there. I think within the last couple of years, I definitely agree that it's felt almost like, and I think WWE's had the biggest part to do with that, is almost kind of making people not really care too much about tag wrestling. And I don't know. I think there's been a bit of love for it now. So it's
back in the day, it was like the biggest or one of the biggest draw on most shows in the US, especially. Like teams were a big thing to get over. I don't know, like they're like rock and roll and midnight and all that. I love watching them stuff. I'm super into all that stuff. Every team and the Horsemen. Like Arn and Tully. That's why I love FTR so much, because of the Arn and Tully obvious comparison.
See, you know what? I love going back and watching like the Eliminators in ECW, because I thought like they were so fucking innovative for their time. Like
the Eliminators.
Yeah, John Kronos and Perry Saturn. They were absolutely.
Oh, I love Perry Saturn.
Yeah, no, go and check them out. Like they were absolute killers back in the day. But it's actually funny. I was talking to someone a while ago, and they were telling me they were actually who was it? I can't remember who was telling me this, but they were at a wrestling show, and they went backstage. I was having a chat. They went there for something else, but the main event was this tag match where the heels were going to be going over. No one told one of the baby faces the heels were going over. Or he went into business for himself, and every time they're trying to pin him, 1, 2, he's kicking out. And the whole crowd, like throughout the whole show, was like, okay, this is wrestling. But as this match went on, they're getting more and more behind this guy. The referee, everyone else in the ring is like, fuck it, let's get him out. Let's get his partner in. They go to pin his partner. 1, 2. He jumps in, fucking breaks up the pin. It's gotten to the point the referee's trying to do a fast count. The referee's getting heat from the crowd. They wrestled for like, I think, an hour and 20 minutes, I got told. And then at the end of it, like the other team were just like, fuck it, just let him pin us. business. As like when the final 3 came down, the place just fucking erupted, and the whole show they were dead. And the person was telling me was like, "That is tag team wrestling psychology. Don't fucking do it." Anyone who's listening, I remember that shit. You get your ass handed to you, but that's psychology across.
Yeah, man, that's paying the price for a social experiment. Hey, someone's got to do it. Someone's got to do it.
That's it.
Go into business for yourself to prove a point.
I was about to say, when you said it was either that or something else, and you started talking, I was like, no, it was just that. He went.
Just do it.
He went to business
Someone
for himself.
definitely told him. Yeah.
Yeah. He's like, yeah, fuck that. I'm not doing jobs.
Yeah, no.
I don't do jobs, brother.
I couldn't imagine that. Yeah, couldn't imagine that.
Oh,
Yeah.
God.
Show first, match second. Us, third, everyone else far beneath us.
Yeah, turn up, rock up, get paid, rock out.
That's it.
Yeah, but as far as for you guys, like, what have you guys got coming up? I know you guys have got a bit of a double header coming up in the end of July, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
We've got a suplex show on July 22nd, and then the day after, on July 23rd, we've got an AWS show that we're going to.
Yeah. July 22nd is chapter 31 of Suplex, Zero Warning.
Yeah.
I am taking on Sloppy Joe, and who are you two versing?
It's
We,
Grimothy. We're taking on with Dean Draven at our side.
In the main event.
In the main event, we're taking on and Leto as well. Dean Draven and Leto taking on Zero and
Bubbles.
The
the
two
tag
cheating scumbags.
champions. The tag
The cheating
champions
scumbags.
that we need to destroy.
There you
We
go.
gotta add in that Zero is the new undisputed champion, much well deserved. The Zero for becoming the new
it's cool.
Suplex Undisputed
Yeah,
champion.
Zero's a good bloke. He's good.
And then
But his tag partners are scumbags.
Australian Wrestling Superstars. We're going to. Is it Bexley Manor Hall? It's like their last show there for a while, I think. Is that right?
Bexley Manor Hall.
Yeah. And we're teaming with Morgan Rose, I think. I'm not sure if anyone knows that.
All I know is that we're showing up and we're doing some damage.
That's it.
I don't think there's a graphic on that yet, but yeah.
Show up,
Sorry,
do damage,
AWS.
I don't know much else. I don't even know who we're
And get
versing,
paid.
but
Yeah, exactly. Get paid.
No,
That's
I could
awesome.
list some more dates. I could keep going. August
Let's
13th
go.
at Western Workers,
yes.
wrestling at Western Suplex, and then we got.
We'll all be there.
Then we're back at South Merriweather at the end of that month on August 27th for chapter 32. And then Explicit. When's Explicit at the Gal? That's in September. I'm hosting that, I think, and Ox is
I'll probably
probably
be
gonna. Yeah, he'll probably kill someone. Yeah, in the ring.
I'll
What
hold
about you,
insults from the crowd on that show.
The crowd heat is needed.
Of course.
We've got plenty
of
of stuff coming up. People can, get amongst it for sure.
Yeah.
That's it, guys. But where can everyone find you guys on social media? Where can they support you, show some love? And is there Deadly Sins merch on the way?
We are definitely got a few things in the works for the Deadly Sins merch. We are putting a few things together. It will be out.
Yes, we are. Like
Mate,
that
yes,
can't
we
be
are.
understated. Like we're not just
we
like
got something
saying that.
great.
Yeah,
Something
like,
great.
Yeah,
like
I'm so
I'll
excited
go
for
into
it.
more detail. We're going to tag
Yeah.
you in the reveal
will.
of
We'll
the
tag
merch
you.
of the actual Deadly Sins merch.
For
But
sure.
I'm only on Instagram, Alan_.pro_wrestler, and at Facebook, Alan-pro wrestler.
I am Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at Greed of Grimm.
On Instagram at Destroyer Rocks King. Destroyer Rocks King's all my socials. Follow me there.
Guys, please make sure you go out and follow AJ Grimm, Ox King, and Alan on Instagram and all social media platforms, guys. They would appreciate it. Keep eyes out for their merch for Deadly Sins.
Very soon.
Very,
This is
very
my
soon.
merch.
for that merch.
Don't break the rules.
Don't
Don't break the rules. Unless it's us.
Yeah, no,
We can break the
we
rules.
don't break
We can
any
break the rules.
What
But
do you
nobody
mean?
else can.
Mick
We don't
Farooq's a
break.
cheating scumbag.
It's true. He is.
It'll be good to get our hands on those bastards again, I'll tell you that.
Well, I'm sure the
Next NWA
rematch.
show.
I'm sure the rematch is definitely in the books. But guys, thank you for being on the show. Also, make sure, guys, to check out our sponsors, healthvape.com and sleeps.com. Use those promo codes MWA Pod to get a 10% discount on your final purchase. Make sure you follow us on all those podcast platforms, MWA Podcast Network, where you can get Shooting the Shit uncensored every single week, every Tuesday and Thursday. You know you want to check it out. But guys, until next time, we'll see you again very, very soon. This is AJ, Grimm, Ox King, and Alan.
Thanks, Piers.
We'll see you
Thank
boys
you.
soon.
See you soon.
Peace.